A survey of South Korean and EU citizens shows the impact of Hallyu, otherwise known as the Korean Wave, with the majority of EU citizens having a positive view of South Korea. The trend particularly strong among young people, Eun-jin reports.
2023 marks 60 years of diplomatic relations between South Korea and the European Union. Ahead of the milestone, UK consumer data firm Statista teamed up with Korean market researchers Hankook Research to do the first professional study of how the people of South Korea and the EU perceive each other. Over the span of 2 weeks, they surveyed 4,000 citizens across 4 EU states and 2,000 Korean citizens. The results of the survey were presented on Thursday by the Embassy of the EU in Brussels and Professor Jung-hoon from Seoul National University. 55.3% of EU citizens had a positive perception of South Korea. 26.8% had negative perception, and 18% said they didn't know. There was a difference in responses by age. 53.7% of EU citizens between the ages of 25 and 29 showed interest, but that figure dropped to 26.7% for over 65s. Researchers generally see that information on foreign countries accumulates with age, but the higher interest from younger age groups suggests South Korea's popularity is a more recent phenomenon. On the other hand, among South Koreans, 69.4% showed a positive interest in the EU, 15.3% showed a negative perception, and 15.4% said they didn't know. Interest in the EU increased to 71.3% for those aged over 65. South Korea showed greater interest towards the EU, though the interest was more concentrated among older respondents, while interest in South Korea among EU citizens was primarily among the youth. Diplomats of South Korea and the European Union are in talks to hold a bilateral summit in Seoul next year, while highlighting the need for more opportunities for exchanges between the two. Eun-jin, Arirang News.